What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Picks and Roll DFS. Yesterday, we went 1-1 in our plays. We're looking to bounce back today, start a new streak, begin the week 3-0. Before we dive into today's picks, remember to manage your bankroll wisely. Stick to a consistent unit size for each bet. For example, no more than 1 to 2% of your total bankroll per wager. This discipline helps ride out losing streaks and avoid chasing losses. We're playing the long game, so focus on smart staking and grind out profits over time. Every bet is just one of many. Keep your risk in check so you can survive the swings and stay in action. Now, also want to give a shout out to Betr right now for new users. Quick way to build your bankroll is through their current promo, where you get a free $10 plus up to $200 in bonus cash on your first deposit. All you have to do is sign up with code DIME. And if you enjoy these picks, please like this video, drop a comment with your favorite prop, and subscribe for more daily plays. Now for the pick. We're taking Aneesah Morrow, going under 16.5 points plus rebounds. Now, Morrow is a talented rookie forward, but this line looks a bit high given her recent production. Now, we can see on the year, she has cashed this line 23 out of 39 games for a 59% hit rate. She's averaging only 14 combined points plus rebounds on the season, which is well below the 16.5 mark. We can also see she's going against Atlanta, which I've discussed earlier in earlier videos, that they are one of the top defenses in terms of points allowed, especially against forwards, which you can see they are ranked 4th, and rebounds allowed for forwards, they're ranked 2nd. Then we can look at the head-to-head matchups for this season, where she's gone well below in all 3 games, with an average of 8.6 and a median of 10. Then if we look at Atlanta's rebound or defense against forwards in terms of their points plus rebounds, we can see some inconsistency in making sure that the players go under those lines. Obviously, Cameron Brink, we've discussed, has gone under most of her lines this season due to just coming back from an injury and limited playing time. But then, we see Dearica Hamby and Jackson both going over their lines. Then Cameron Brink, again, she was one of the consistent ones, but there was a similarity between the zigzag with Cameron Brink both games, but then other sparks going over. But keep in mind, these are all the same teammates, same team, so it's not going to be easy to deny everyone their lines. But we can also see one of those most recent matchups was Aneesah Morrow, which they did hold her, again, under line of 16.5 points plus rebounds. Then overall, we can also see that Atlanta, for the entire team, is 3rd in points allowed, with just 77.2 points a game and rebounds 14.2. You can also look at the lines from other major and sharp sports books, and we can see that FanDuel also agrees with Aneesah Morrow going under her line of 16.5 points plus rebounds, as they have the line priced at minus 130. So this line is solid and one of my favorite plays for today. Keep in mind there's only one game, which limits our lines and options, but this is probably one of the best plays today. Before we get into our next pick, of course, want to give a shout out to Outlier. It's our go-to research tool for player props. Outlier makes it easy to uncover key stats and trends like the one that we're citing here to find that edge. Definitely give the platform a try if you want to dig into the data yourself. And if you're liking this analysis, please remember to like and subscribe. It really helps us out. Next pick is going to be Jordan Canada going under 20.5 points plus assists. Now, Canada is the Dream's point guard and floor general, and while she's had a terrific season, this number is a bit inflated when you consider her typical output and role on this deep Atlanta team. There are going to be some game time decisions today, so keep that in mind as you're watching the line movement for this play and if you decide to use it. Now we can see on other platforms, Hard Rock Bet minus 120, Bet 365 minus 130. We can see for Underdog it's minus 132, and Sleeper has it all the way at minus 145. Now that the season's coming to the close, we're going to focus on we'll focus on the year's data as well as head-to-head. So if we look at the year as a whole, she has cashed this line 18 out of 26 times for a 69% rate, averaging 17.4 and a median of 18 in this time span, which is, again, well below the line. Even with some of these high outlier games, such as this 38 output here against the Fever, or even here against the Storm, or here against the Valkyries. Some things to note, especially in terms of Connecticut's defense. When it comes to guards, they are 10th in points allowed, which is not favorable for us, but then they're okay in assists allowed at 12.9, which is ranked 7th in the league. We can also see the head-to-head, where Jordan Canada has cashed this line 3 out of 4 times, including 2 of those games from last year, for a 75% rate. And within those games, she's averaged 14.75, nearly 15, and then a median of 15.5, which, again, both of those are well below the line that they have given us. You can also see Connecticut has a significant rate of comparable guards and holding them under their lines. The only ones they couldn't do were Ryan Howard, who has been extremely hot lately. Also, the complementary guard to Canada. So if you're going to hold Canada under her points, it's highly possible that Howard is going to get hers. Kayla McBride, best team in the league, Minnesota Lynx. And then Sonia Citron, who is also one of the new up-and-coming stars, great rookie for the Washington Mystics. Again, despite this kind of neutral and somewhat unfavorable line in terms of Connecticut's defense for points plus assists allowed, Connecticut being out of the playoffs and having quote-unquote nothing to play for, they are still ending the season with their best foot forward, and I'm sure they want to end the season on some wins or a win streak, just like they won last night. And it was a game that they were not favored in, and they still came out strong, still has something to play for. Aneesah Morrow, who we, have as our first prop, she did not score well, but was still determined to make an impact on the game, and she did in other ways. So we can see that Connecticut is still going to fight till the end of the season. The coach has, jobs on the line. There's a lot less players on each team. All these things matter, which is why every game, whether you are in the playoff hunt or not, matters. It's also possible that Atlanta limits some of their star players' minutes, especially with people battling injuries, to prepare for the playoffs and the championship, which is why this line of 20.5, which is a bit inflated, is a solid play for the under. Before we get into our last play, want to shout out Pikkit. Pikkit is a free app for tracking your bets and joining a community of bettors. Pikkit syncs your sports books so you can monitor your performance, and it's a great social community to tell plays and compare stats. Again, it's free. Sign up with code LOB, sync your sports books and DFS platforms, and you're set to go. And if you find these breakdowns helpful, please comment and subscribe. Let us know your favorite prop for tonight. Our final pick is going to be Marina Mabrey going lower than 8.5 rebounds plus assists. Now, Mabrey is a scoring-focused guard for Connecticut, and asking her to get 9 combined rebounds plus assists against this Atlanta team is going to be a tall order. We can see in head-to-head matchups from last year and this year combined, she has gone below this line 5 out of 7 times for a 71% rate, with an average just under 8 and a median of 7. We can also see that there's been significant line movement as this line did start at. It started at 7.5 and has jumped up to 8. It's kind of zigzag between, so make sure you're keeping an eye on this line before you make your decision. I would not necessarily recommend this line at 7. You'll be playing it pretty close to the average and median, and then you deny yourself, that 0.5, which does make a big deal. Now, we can also see that she's cashed this line on the season overall at a 55% rate, going below this line 18 out of 33, and an average and median of around 8. So again, this was what makes the play difficult if it drops down to a 7.5, because one additional rebound now puts you over. But currently at that 8.5, you're more safe. We can also see with Atlanta's defense, when it comes to rebounds allowed and assists allowed to guards, they are ranked second and first in those categories. We can also see that major sports books, especially the sharp book that we want to use in terms of looking for WNBA props, FanDuel has this as a huge favorite at minus 154. We can also see a Hard Rock Bet is at minus 130 as well. If we look at other teams or other players going against the Dream in their stats in terms of the rebounds and assists, we can also see that zigzag action of nearly almost every other game. They have cashed the under. Kelsey Plum, first game or most recent game, she went well under her line, and then she went over the second, and we can see some kind of zigzagging action with the rest of those guards. But if you look at that third player, which is Marina Mabrey, we can see she went well below her most recent line at 7.5, which bodes well for us, and is why we are taking that line of Marina Mabrey under 8.5 now for tonight. Again, let's recap our plays for today. We have Aneesah Morrow going lower than 16.5 points plus rebounds. We have Jordan Canada going lower than 20.5 points plus assists. And we have Marina Mabrey going lower than 8.5 rebounds plus assists. Feel free to tail or fade these picks. And as always, do your own research. Good luck, and let's cash these tickets. Remember to manage that bankroll and enjoy the games. If you found this helpful, show some love with a like and subscribe for more prop breakdowns. Let's build that roll.